Okay, so we're just checking out Sharky right now. You had mentioned that you were having some trouble with the move tool when you were working with Sharky, not not working properly. Uh, Obviously, on my computer it is, and it's just a funny thing about Maya. Sometimes it's actually your Maya settings on your local computer that will be causing problems. Okay, so, and you said you were also having some trouble with the render window. So when I come up here and click on render, again, everything's working fine for me. And if I render it again, still looking good. So it's not something I'm seeing on my computer, but a good way to try and fix any errors that are occurring, strange errors, is to always first thing to try is to reset your preferences to Maya's default settings, because odds are, something somewhere a button got pushed or a switch got flipped that changed something and caused Maya to behave a little strangely. So first let's do that. So you just want to come up to Maya Preferences, and if you are using a PC, it may be under File Preferences, okay? So just find that Preferences menu and open it up. It should look like this. And what we're going to do is just come into Edit, and we're going to go Restore Default Settings, okay? And that will revert Maya back to its factory settings, and that usually tends to clear up a lot of issues with Maya, okay? So it's a good first thing to try, anyways. So one thing I have noticed about your shark animation is that if we kind of watch him go, it kind of slows down. He's going, pretty fast, and then just kind of slows down quite a bit. And I'll just go ahead and give us a little more room to work with here. I'll make this something huge, like 100, so we can see a little better this in action. Kind of speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. So you can kind of see that going on. Obviously, we don't want that. We want him to just be going forward at a pretty normal rate of speed, right? So what we want to do is actually come into we'll want to grab this main control first of all, okay? Because this is where our forward motion is coming from this main controller right here, okay? And so we'll want to come up into our animation editors and our graph editor. So again, that's just Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor. And you've been in here before, so you kind of know what I'm talking about. And it just pops up with all these beautiful lines. Now, the direction that the shark is going along, traveling forward in, is actually your X direction. You can kind of see it right here. This little X, and you can see this handle here. When I'm not clicking on it, is a red, and that stands for X direction. Okay, so it's traveling in translate X. Okay, so this is where the problem is occurring, where the slowdown is happening. Slow down and speed up. Okay, so when I click on that, well, it looks pretty straight, right? Sometimes, when something will be pretty stretched out like this, and it'll appear to be fairly straight, if you actually hold down Command, Shift, and then you drag your right mouse button, and again, if it's PC, it's, I believe, Control-Shift, a right mouse button drag. You just bring it in a little bit, you can kind of start to see that there's a little curve going on here. It's pretty slight, but it's enough to affect your animation. So a pretty quick way to make this just a straight line, okay, just basically anywhere you see curves, you're seeing a change in speed, alright? And we just want one constant speed for Sharky to be swimming at. So we want a straight line, no curves, no change in speed. So easy way to do that is just grab this, marquee selected, okay? And this little guy right here, called linear tangents, will just snap that into a perfect straight line, alright? And once it's like that, can exit out. And we can watch Sharky swim along, and he will swim at a constant rate. Okay, forever. Alright, so it looks like you do have your joints on a layer here, and you've got it invisible, which is great. That means, you know, the animators can't mess with it. But just for good measure, you know, just in case we've got visible here, you know, when we can move that all around, we don't want that. You might want to place this also in, like, say, reference mode, so that, you know, even if it's visible, we cannot grab it, alright? And the same goes for Sharky. We don't want to be able to grab Sharky himself either, because we don't want to accidentally do anything weird with that, alright? So just, you know, go ahead and put Sharky in reference mode, okay? That way we can't click on him accidentally or mess anything up, alright? So no clickies. Alright, so we can go ahead and make that invisible again. The other problem here is that looks like your rig actually still is able to move around, so I can grab this and go way over here with it and do all kinds of crazy stuff, you know, while I'm, you know, maybe I accidentally grabbed that while I was animating, and now wow, I don't know, you know, it's all crazy. So we want to make sure that your animator is not able to ever break the rig, okay? It should only do those things that it's meant to do, and it shouldn't be able to do anything else. So see, this one on the end here is set up just perfect. You know, I can't move it, I can't scale it, but I can rotate it only those 30 degrees to those limits. Okay, so that one's fine. This one can be moved around, so that's a problem. So you'll want to address that. You'll want to come in and make sure that you fix these guys and lock that down, all right, so that they're not moving around anything they don't need to be moving around. So yeah, other than that, everything looks fine. Everything's rendering well. The animation is pretty solid. So you're good to go there. And let me know if you have any questions about this, and I'll be happy to help you out in more detail. Other than that, well, happy animating.